Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point. And we are here with an update to the Alexis Crawford case. And you guys remember her roommate, Jordyn Jones, and Jordyn's boyfriend, Barron Brantley, have been arrested and charged with Alexis murder. And so both of them had court hearings. Yesterday, Jordyn had a hearing. And then today, both Jordyn and Barron were supposed to appear, but Jordyn waived her rights to appear, so only Barron showed up. And so here's what happened in Jordyn's case on yesterday. A judge denied bond for Jones, Jordyn Jones, arguing that the 21-year-old was a flight risk because hours after she was thought to have killed Alexis Crawford, she allegedly made plans to withdraw from college and move back to her home state of Michigan, an Atlanta television station reported. And so Crawford and Jones attended Clark Atlanta University together, and Jones was further considered a flight risk after withdrawing from the university, causing the judge to believe she wouldn't return for trial. So Crawford was a senior in college and was reported missing by relatives November 1st after they said they hadn't heard from her in several days. And as I previously shared with you guys, her body was discovered in the DeKalb County Park on November 8th. And so I don't know if you guys remember when I talked to you about the actual method of how she was murdered. It seemed kind of crazy to me because at first they said that she died from asphyxiation. Then a later report came out and said that Barron Brantley had strangled Alexis to death. But then in the very next sentence, they said that Jordyn actually killed her by wrapping a black plastic bag, trash bag, smothering her with the bag until she died. And so I was like, okay, either he strangled her to death or she suffocated her with the bag. And so more of that came out in these two hearings today. And so Jones is accused of smothering her roommate with a black trash bag until Crawford stopped breathing and was deceased per an arrest affidavit. Her boyfriend is also alleged to have strangled the victim with his hands. So Jones and Crawford's friendship had recently hit a rift. And I told you guys about days before her disappearance, she had filed a police report accusing the Barron Brantley guy of sexual assault and including unwanted kissing and touching. And she said the three of them had been drinking at the near campus apartment she shared with Jones when the reported assault occurred. So, we're getting more details about what happened. So Crawford told police she blacked out and woke up partially naked with ripped panties. On Thursday, officials confirmed that Barron Brantley's DNA was found inside the victim, adding they had evidence to prove Jones had tried covering up the rape. Crawford's roommate even tried to convince the victim's family that there was no rape. And so that was another thing that, I was questioning in previous videos, because I was like, okay, they're saying that she was in the bathroom and the panties were torn or cut off of her, but then they don't really say that she was raped. And then why did they ask for a rape kit if she said that it was only unwanted kissing and touching? And so now we know that she was indeed raped and that Jordyn Jones tried to cover it up for some reason. I have no clue. So today in Barron Brantley's case, we had an Atlanta police detective testify during the preliminary hearing. And so he revealed more information about what happened. And so Barron Brantley, according to Detective Michael Young, who testified, was arrested the day Crawford's body was found in Decatur and interrogated. He admitted to choking Alexis, and while he was choking her, Jordyn Jones put a plastic bag over her head. So I guess they were doing all this together, so it wasn't like he strangled her and then she suffocated her. Like, it was all happening at the same time. And so a judge ruled calls for Brantley's case to proceed towards trial, and Jones waived her hearing, and so will also be moved forward for trial. And so the detective further testified that Brantley told him he knew Crawford was dead because she stopped breathing after she'd been struggling to breathe and she had sounds of agony. The detective also revealed other details from the case in Friday's preliminary hearing for Brantley. He said Brantley admitted to details after first denying knowing where Crawford's body was, then being confronted with inconsistencies in what he was telling the detective. The detective said he first spoke to Jones earlier in the day. He said she helped lead authorities with her dad present to Crawford's body in the park, also after first trying to deny her role in the killing. Now, can you imagine you done sent your child off to college? She is like preparing to graduate, a senior in college that made it through 4 years. And then you get a phone call that she possibly has murdered her roommate. And now you've got to come down here and convince her to tell the police where this girl's body is and to tell the truth. Like, I can't even imagine something like this happening. Oh my God, this is just so crazy. And so the detectives testified that Jones first tried to tell police she was in her house the entire night of Crawford's death and that she didn't leave until the next morning. She admitted that wasn't true after the detective confronted her with surveillance footage from her apartment complex's parking deck that showed her at 3:11 a.m. that morning backing her car up to a door off camera for 6 or 7 minutes, then being seen leaving the complex at 3:17 a.m. and then returning at 4:09 a.m. The footage, Young said, showed her with another person during that period. She told police it was Brantley. She finally stated Barron Brantley was inside the house with her and Alexis got into a fight. And during that fight, Barron Brantley came outside of the bedroom and choked Alexis. He also outlined after questioning the two suspects, the crime scene unit went to the apartment where Crawford was killed and scanned the room for blood, finding 5 or 6 spots of it. A day earlier in the bond hearing on Thursday, prosecutors accused Jones of taking steps in the days after the murder to cover her tracks. On her own volition, the defendant, Ms. Jones, called family members of Ms. Crawford and told them that there was no DNA found in the rape kit. Well, that is incredibly incorrect. The results of the rape kit indicate that Brantley's DNA was found, the prosecutor said. And so the prosecution is looking at the lies that she told, the fact that she was trying to withdraw from school and return to Michigan represents a level of witness intimidation, given that there are many of the witnesses in the case will be family members of Miss Crawford, as they were the last people that she spoke to. Jones' defense lawyer did not directly address that accusation, but said she was supportive following the allegation of rape and accompanied her roommate at the time and spent however much time was necessary for her to be at Grady Hospital as she went through the rape kit scenario. So Alexis told her what happened. She went with her to, I guess, to report the alleged rape. Also went with her to the hospital to get the rape kit done, but then ended up, and it's kind of sounding like she was the one that was in charge of this whole fiasco that took place, this whole murder, because they're saying that her and Alexis were arguing, and then Barron came in and broke up the fight or started choking Alexis. So I don't know if it was a case where it was never their intention to do this, but then in the heat of the moment with the fight and arguing and all of that going on, that they realized, okay, we have gone too far. She's already accused you of rape. Now you're choking the girl. And so in that heat of the moment, in that instance, they decided that it was best to kill her or something. This, oh my God, this is just so crazy. But I guess stuff like this happens all the time. But my God, just being the mother, of daughters and having, they hang out with their friends, they go out, they drink, they do stuff. And this is like a reality check, a realization that something like this could just happen. It's not planned. It's just a bad situation that led to an even worse situation. And then it sounds like the boy ain't too smart and was following behind this girl, because I definitely think Jordyn was running this show. I don't know if she was jealous of Alexis or what was going on, or if she was just crazy enough to believe that Alexis was trying to come on to her boyfriend. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But this is what happened in court on both yesterday and today. Go ahead and leave your comments below and let's talk about it. And I hope that everyone has a great weekend. Bye-bye.